If any of the buttons are left in the door panel, pull them off now and move them from the door onto the trim panel. They can't be left on here. Okay, all my trim clips are in place. You see they have a little bit of, about a 1/4 inch of play to them. First thing you're going to hook on, you're going to put the hook, snap it into place there, and then you pull this sheathing. You're going to pull the sheathing back, exposing the wire. That wire will slip back into this little slot here, and then you let go of the black sheathing so it pockets itself down into there. Next step would be to snap in the tweeter, and the tweeter does have a direction to it. This side here, this butterfly wing, is a little bit bigger than that side, and it snaps into the butterfly wing sockets there, and then the connector is supposed to precariously be kind of set into there so you don't get any kind of rattling. Step after that is this lip here will go into your clips there, and just make sure that you don't pinch this weather stripping down underneath. You want it to stay up as far as I can see, and then make sure that you thread your lock button through the hole there. Okay, now after you got the panel on, if you need to nudge it down, just give it a couple of taps until I just went with this being flush with the sheet metal, and then just go down here and just push down into the clips. Before you do that, double check, make sure this button is sticking out of its hole there. Otherwise you got to take the whole panel off again. Step after that is you got your little body clips, which are back in here, up here, etc. Go through, line each one up with a hole, and then you want to hear them snap into place and give it a tug. Do that for each one. Sometimes it'll be seated, but if you don't hear that snap, it's not locked in. And with your body panel reassembled properly, they're going to fit a little tighter, so expect that. But just a sharp little bump onto it, you should hear the snap and get them into place. Okay, now we'll put our 3 large Phillips screws back into place, here, here, and here. And what I find with here is that if your screwdriver's not magnetic, use a magnetic tool to kind of get it into the hole, and then stick the screwdriver in there to screw it down. Otherwise it wants to play games with you. To put the door handle on, you start up here, and I found I had to flex it a little bit to get this clip to go into there. And when I did, it snapped into place and aligned the handle perfectly. Snap your other 2 trim pieces in place. That just pops in. This goes in here. There's a hook that goes into that hole right there. There's also this hook here, which catches onto that lip there. This snap goes into there. And that bent piece there was probably meant to go into a hole here that does not exist. Put on your latch trim. There's a little hook there that goes up and under. And then you flip down and put the screw into there. And lastly, screw your kick plate back on there. Okay, we are all done. The door now closes with a thunk instead of a clatter. And the more I think of it, the more I think it's completely absurd that we should have to do this to any car, let alone a Mercedes. These pieces, you know, everybody says the glue has dried out and it lets loose. No, the reality is they were never glued together properly in the first place. They were just hanging on by a thread, a little spot here, a little spot there. Anything that was solidly glued together stayed together. Problem is the pieces didn't fit, or the clips weren't pressed all the way in, and personally I think Mercedes should be ashamed of it. If you follow my directions and glue it like this, it is better than new. I feel confident this panel will never fall apart. As I mentioned before, I'm going to start to think about tackling the interior, disassembling it, repaint it, put it all together again. Probably going to be broken into 2, 3 or more videos. I have to do some research. It's going to be a lot of work, and I'm going to kind of hold you guys hostage. What I'm going to do is, if I get to do this in the fall, I'm not going to post any videos until I hit 500 subscribers. After that, I'll post the first video. Then after I hit 750 subscribers, then I'll do the third video. Then when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll put the final video on. How's that sound? So if you like this video, if you found it helpful, if you look forward to some of my other videos, please like, share, and above all, subscribe. Thank you for watching.